Hi there and welcome to day 16 in December daily. I have my photos for day 17, 18, 19, 20 and 21 all printed ready to go, and I am just having a lovely crafty afternoon, evening and day tomorrow, working my way through all of those projects. So today for day 16 I had two choices in my album. Let me get my album and show you what I mean. Okay, so I have this as day 15, so a single side and this 3x8, and my intention was to turn the page and have a 3x8 and this, so the right hand side, so a left hand and a right hand side. But the stories that I have to tell, that I really do want to get in my album, I could split. So for example, I'm not working necessarily in a chronological order now. I have printed photos at a format, for example, where I know these are going to go in a pocket, one for that story, one for this story. Do these run on consecutive days? In reality, no, they don't. But I just happen to have a landscape orientation photo from this story, so they will work well together. So realistically, I could, for example, bring in this photo, this full page photo over here, with journaling here. But this is for a day where I really do want to honour the date. So I want to make sure that this photo goes with the date because it matches the story. So this is the story of the solstice. I like to get a photo of the sky. I want it to be on the right date. But there are stories that don't really matter about the date. So for example, Elora going ice skating, I could tell that on any day. It doesn't matter that it's not on the date that happened. So I certainly could do that now. I could bring that in here. But I have a kind of micro story that I wanted to tell, where the shape of December changed and shifted for us because we were due to be going to Glastonbury for a few days for a 2-day meeting, so probably 4 days because we like to have some time down there. I was really looking forward to it. The shop windows are always really festive and pretty, and I had plans for lots of photos of all of that. And then I was poorly, really poorly, didn't feel like going in a camper van. Our poor little cat, I thought he was going to die on the day. So we ended up staying home, changing all of our plans and staying home. So I have a photo that I took on the day, in black and white. And I just want this to be my story. So I just want this one side as my story over here, day 16. And then this can be day 17, whatever that's going to be, whatever story I'm going to tell for day 17. So I have printed this photo as it was on my photo stream. So I have it 3 inches wide, and I think it's just over 5, 5.5. I'm going to leave it like that. I have these old 3x4 cards that came in an Ali Edwards December daily kit, and my intention was literally idea that like that and that, number here, journaling, done. But this is I don't know how this is going to show up on camera, but this is quite a cool toned white, and this is a warm white. You can see there, look, cool, warm. It's not cream, but it is warm, and I don't like how the two look. So, look much better, to my eye anyway. So what I'm going to do is fussy cut out that scalloped edge, and then just flip it and adhere it down to the white. Simple. Then have this up here. I toyed with the idea of having the fussy scalloped edge on the photo and the white behind, so the kind of title there, look, which I could still do. I'll have a look when it's printed out, when it's trimmed, and see what I think. But I do quite like the idea of this red at the top. I've bought in a few vellum pieces because I was thinking I fancied like a soft, transparent embellishment somewhere, so bringing in the red somewhere else. And then I had this crazy idea, which I still quite like. I have this asterisk from an old December Daily kit, which I love, and I can't work out. I wanted to use it with a brad in the centre and have it as a spinner. but it's never happened. So I was toying with the idea of actually having that on the top and just flopping on the other side. But I think that's a little bit too crazy. And I do still love the idea of that spinner. So I'm going to hold this for the spinner. So next stage is going to be fussy cut this out. You don't need to watch me do that. So I'm going to just do that with my scissors. And then I will come back and show you the two options of what this looks like with the December story as a banner in the centre. And more likely how I will work with it on top of the card. Sharing a look at what this looks like in case you have these products and want to do something the same. So I really like it on top of the black and white photo. I think it really pops. I love it. But the bottom of the photo is so dark that I really want it at the bottom of the little canvas, which means that my journaling would have to sit above, which feels a bit odd to my eye. It could work, but it does feel a bit strange. So the options I have are that my journaling sits underneath like this. I'd even toyed with the idea of trimming a little bit off so that I have a tiny red border under the photo look, so that it almost frames the photo. But again, that looks then like this is a forgotten piece. So alternatively, I could then put a little red border underneath the journaling like this, which actually I like. So I'm going to go with that. Yeah, so change of plan, I'm going to go with that. I'm hopeful I've got some red somewhere that is exactly the same red as this, so I haven't got to destroy one of these cards just for a little bit of a border, but I will do that if I have to. So I'm going to have a quick look in my stash first to see if I have a paper that is this exact tone, and if not, I will work with one of these cards because they've been in my stash for a while now and I'll still have 3 of them left. There is that fussy cut out and adhered to the top. I'm going to lightly tack this to that page from yesterday, just really gently, and then I have here that gutted card, strip of the red on the bottom, and then some I've just forgotten that I put it on there, some adhesive on the back of the photo. I'm just going to run a strip there instead just to make sure this is the correct length. So popping that here against that story from yesterday, lining it up with my photo. Things are a little bit squiff because the one from yesterday is printed a little bit larger, so just really light touches, and then I'm going to trim everything so that it all matches and sits nicely together. There we go. So this is a little bit wider than 3 inches. There we go. Super simple. There is the story from yesterday, so I'll get that put back in a moment. And then my number, which I'm going to go with this nice chunky 16. I'm going to put here on the photo. I quite like it down there, but I've got story to tell. So let me tell my story first, see how much I need and what it looks like with the number actually layered up over the story, because it is very transparent, so I should be able to see through it. So let's have a look what that looks like. I've opted to put this number 16 on the photo, just checking I hadn't got it on the back of that day yesterday. That will go there. I have, I'm sure, a red sticker that can go over that if I don't like the staple when I take photos, but at the moment I don't mind the staple. I'm gonna put these away. Really simple page, very neutral, but it carries the energy of the story that I'm telling. So it's a page that suits the story. I don't want Santa's, puffy stickers, lots of embellishments. It's a really it's a soft story, so it needed a soft entry in my album, and there it is. So this will just get slipped into a page protector on the back of this one. I'll adhere these down together now, and that will be it for day 16. So day 17 will be over here on this right hand side of the page, and I'm fairly sure it will be in a page protector. So those two 6x4 pockets will be day 17 and 18. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.